ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
It is Friday, November 8th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. It's Friday. We got a busy weekend ahead. We've already had a busy week, let alone the weekend. We got a lot to get into today. And we'll do so also with your text this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We got one more package of tickets to give you. And so we'll open up the text line here in just a moment for that. And I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow. Going to be the Herd taking on the Toledo Rockets. It's been a long time since we've had a doubleheader like this here. It's been a while. If I recall correctly, it's been a while. So we got football coming up tomorrow. We'll have that for you right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. And we've also got the basketball game coming up as well. So here's how it actually is going to flow. So here we go. It's going to be, and this is real easy. If you want to listen to the football game tomorrow, just turn your radio then to 93.7 The Dog. Also, if you want to listen to the basketball game, we're going to give you the opportunity to on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So football on The Dog, basketball on the AM here and on 94.1. Dave Wilson's going to have the call of that one, so he won't be with football tomorrow. Instead, he'll be with basketball. And we're going to do our pregame show. That's coming up tomorrow at noon. We'll be over at Giovanni's. And then after we do our football pregame show, and so that's going to be right here as well. So if you're going to listen to basketball, but you kind of want to get an idea of what's going on with football, it's going to be crazy. I'm just not going to lie to you. We're going to be jumping through hoops tomorrow here. We're going to be juggling a lot of this here. So if you want football, just keep it simple. Football, 93.7 The Dog. Basketball, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So that is what we have got for you. All right. You all set? You ready to go? Okay. We got Southern Miss coming up tomorrow. We've got Toledo coming up tomorrow. How many of you are going to basketball tomorrow? How many of you are taking the trip for football? How many of you are doing basketball? Our text line this hour is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Again, the text line, 304-396-8255. We're going to talk to John Cox, longtime voice of the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. And so we're going to try to get him on the other line when we continue. And then later on, we'll get your text in. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Thank God it's Friday, right? We're all set for the weekend. Thanks for tuning in and spending some of your day with me here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union has been serving the Huntington community for 70 years and is proud to announce our newest location in Lavalette is now open. Wayne County residents, you now have access to a modern banking facility, a full range of services, advanced technology, expert financial advice, and even a smart coffee kiosk cafe. Learn more about Metro Community Federal Credit Union online at metrocommunityfcu.com or visit us today on 5th Street Road.
Equal housing lender, member NCUA.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year again, football season. Frank's has you covered from Marshall, WVU, the rest of college football to the NFL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Now is the time to add on a new bathroom or remodel your old one with the latest up-to-date bathroom fixtures from Mutual Wholesalers, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Come in today to Mutual Wholesalers' beautiful showroom and see how your new bathroom will look. Check out Acre by Max. Have a new bathroom this year. Mutual Wholesalers, locally owned and operated, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Call 304-525-9118.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
My office has its ups and downs.
I share my office.
But no matter what kind of office you have, one thing's for certain. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast, and you can invite your top choices to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, for any kind of office.
I'm really going places in my office.
My office has everything you could ever want.
Count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
And they're off. Thoroughbred Express Wash is racing ahead with the brand new Secretariat Wash featuring Graphene X. This high-performance wash goes the distance, outlasting standard ceramic coatings with superior protection and unmatched hydrophobicity. Don't let your vehicle fall behind. Upgrade today at any of our West Virginia and tri-state locations. Experience the Secretariat Wash and let your car shine like a true champion. Thoroughbred Express Wash, where every wash is a winner. Stop by or call today. See us online at thoroughbredexpress.com.
Hey, Tri-State, there is a place to shop at. The Huntington's Peddlers Mall is now open in the historic Central City District in Huntington. Over 200 vendors specializing in vintage antiques, home decor, furniture, collectibles, new mattresses, and everything in between. Peddlers Mall, located 800 14th Street West in Huntington. It's the place to go. Open 7 days a week. Visit anytime. Check out the website, peddlersmall.com, for more information. It's the Tri-State place to shop, Huntington's Peddlers Mall.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our Friday edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Tomorrow, a very busy day for Thundering Herd Athletics. We get everything started at high noon, Giovanni's 20th Street for our pregame coverage. Marshall on the road taking on Southern Miss, and then we've got the Herd taking on the Toledo Rockets, and we'll have that game exclusively here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930 as the Herd and Southern Miss will do battle on 93.7 The Dog. My next guest, the longtime voice of Southern Miss. He has been doing it, 47 years, John? That's how long you've been doing this? 47?
This is my 47th year.
You don't sound a day over 30. You never have.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't know if that's true though, but it's 47. Yeah, all in the same place.
Wow, that's amazing. John Cox is with us. Always so gracious with his time to help a guy out, and we've got Marshall coming back for the first time in a long time. Yeah, I thought the good thing about it was when Marshall, Southern Miss, and Old Dominion left Conference USA, all three of those schools would be together, but they put Southern Miss in the West Division, so we don't get to see as much for football, but I'm glad we're getting to do this again tomorrow.
Well, me too. You've been a good friend to me over the years, and I've known Steve Cotton for a long, long time, and several other people there at Marshall, Coach Antoni. I got to know him really, really well. So a lot of good friends there at Marshall and friends in Huntington, and it's still one of my favorite places to come visit. I love everything about it, places to eat, places to see, and the athletic venues and all the great battles we've had with Marshall over the years. So got a love for the Thundering Herd, except maybe for a couple hours on Saturday when the Golden Eagles play football against the Herd.
No, that's fair, completely fair, and I think we can say the same for you. And, of course, I've always said this. I don't know if I've told you this, but I've said this constantly over the years. When Southern Miss is one of those teams challenging for a championship in the conference, the league is better. And I meant that when it was in Conference USA, and I mean that now. When Southern Miss gets this thing turned around, I think the Sun Belt's going to be even better for it.
I agree with you. I think we bring a lot to the table, honestly. At least the university brings a lot to the table. It's a great athletic tradition in every sport. Our great fan base, our great fan support that whatever event it is, whatever sport, whatever venue, they always turn out in really big numbers. They travel really well, even sometimes up there to Marshall. We used to take a lot of good folks up there for football. So there's a lot of similarities between the Golden Eagles and the Thundering Herd. I think our fan bases have a lot in common as well. So that makes me look forward to the ball game this weekend between the two teams.
So this is interesting because we've got a situation where Southern Miss isn't at its best, 1-7, 0-4 in the league, and Marshall might be in a good spot here, 5-3, the 3-1 league play. I don't think any of that matters for this one tomorrow because Marshall's had its difficulties on the road, and Southern Miss has changed leadership. I know it was probably hard to say goodbye to Will Hall. I liked him. He even reminded me of Huntington High's football coach, Billy Seals. They kind of had the same cadence, kind of same look. So I always liked Will Hall, but at the end of the day, wins matter, and it just couldn't get enough of them to stick around. And I'm sure the transition's been interesting.
It has been, but it's been smoother than you would think. Reed Stringer is a guy who has been around Southern Miss on a couple of occasions, and he's now the interim head coach, and kind of the same, a little bit of the same personality as well, but a little bit different as well. And he's got a little different approach to it. But I think the players have been unbelievable. Southern Miss is much better than a 1-7 football team. I mean, I don't think there's any question about that. And it just had some things not go their way so far this year. So I think this down the stretch, these last four conference games, these last four Sun Belt Conference games, that the Eagle opponents are going to see a really good Southern Miss team that's had some great practices, that believes in themselves, knows that they're better than a 1-7 football team. So I'm excited to see this weekend. I think they've had a great week practice, open date last week, so they had a chance to kind of recharge those batteries, and when they got back on the practice field, kind of work on some of the things they needed to. So I'm really interested to see how this one kind of plays out today between the Golden Eagles and the Thundering Herd.
How important do you think it is for the long-term success of this program to finish strong? With the transfer portal being what it is, we don't know what we're going to see next year. You could have guys that buy in and stay. You could have a mass exodus. We just don't know. So how important do you think this last stretch of games will be for the maybe short-term and long-term future of Southern Miss?
Well, to be totally honest with you, I don't really know how much about the transfer portal and all that kind of stuff and how it works. But I do know Southern Miss football because I've seen it for a long, long time. And the same kinds of guys that they have recruited over the years, there's a bunch of those same kind of guys on this football team who, regardless of the record, regardless of the opponent, are going to go out and be leaders and try to lead this team to play as well as they can every Saturday. And so I think it'll be a good matchup. I think the Golden Eagles will play well, whether or not it'll be well enough to knock off a Marshall team that's playing pretty good football right now. But I know we've recruited a bunch of really good young men, really good football players, really good student athletes, and so I'm anxious to see how it plays out today. But I think the Eagles will give it everything they got against the Thundering Herd, and whether or not that'll be enough, I don't know. But I think we'll see the very best the Golden Eagles can put out on a Saturday afternoon.
My guest is the longtime voice of Southern Miss Golden Eagles football and basketball, John Cox. And with this game, you mentioned it earlier, and I think that's been echoed by everyone we've talked to this week with Marshall. This team is not on film 1-7. This team is much better than that record. What do you think has been the overall problem then for this program this season? What's been the difference maker between 1-7 and maybe a much better record?
Well, I think a little bit probably has to do with the experience. There's a lot of there are some transfer guys, some portal guys on this team in some key position. Then there's some young players. I mean, right now, the starting quarterback, Ethan Crawford. Ethan's a really good player out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Is a guy that probably, if he hadn't gotten banged up and injured there the first couple of games, would have now been making his his ninth start of the season. But he's a young quarterback that I've seen get better and better, and so that's one of the keys I think that's made them a much better team than their record indicates. And at running back, you've got a young man by the name of Jalen Washington who has only played in 3 ball games, and all 3 of those games that he has played really, really well. And so there's some really young players on this team that Will Hall and his staff had brought into this program, whether it be this year or last year, and on both sides of the ball in the special teams. And so I think if you're around them like I am, you see how good some of those young players are and how good that they're starting to get and the potential that they have. And so that's why I've got a lot of confidence in them. Now, whether or not that'll show up in the ball game against Marshall, I don't know. But I think it's a team that's getting better and better here with 4 games to go this year.
I know you're seeing more of what's happening in the West on a weekly basis. What have you seen in Marshall this year? What maybe stands out to you?
Well, I haven't seen a lot of Marshall, but Steve Cotton and I have known each other for a long time, and we kind of chat, probably if not every week, every other week, and kind of I don't know if compare notes is the right term or not, but we don't give each other away any secrets of our teams, but just hearing Steve talk about the Thundering Herd and the job that they've done and some of the guys they've brought in, it sounds like that they've done a great job. They've been very active in the portal, kind of like Southern Miss has had, and has got some really good players that they brought in from other places. And I've always been impressed with Marshall. I can't exactly remember the first time we were up there playing in Huntington. I think the Eagles were lucky enough to win maybe the first couple up there, but I just always loved the atmosphere up there. They love football. There's no question about that. And they show up in pretty good numbers there to watch the Herd play every weekend. And so if you a combination of some really good players, really good fan support, people who can, and good coaching. They've always had great coaches up there at Marshall, and it's the same this year. They've done a really good job of coaching up some of those new players and young players. So I just know anytime you walk in there in Huntington, West Virginia, and take on the Thundering Herd, you better have your A game with you. You better ready to go, because they are going to come after you, and they're going to play hard, and they're going to play tough. So hopefully the Golden Eagles could match that in the ball game today.
I do know when I'm looking at your game notes, so it is even easier to find because it's right there on page 3. The first game was in 2005, November 8th. It was a 27-24 overtime victory for Southern Miss.
Darren McCaleb kicked the field goal there. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Marshall may have had a chance to kick a field goal and may have missed it, and we were able to get a position where McCaleb was able to hit one. And so, yeah, there were some. They've always been, even though we're so far away from each other, Southern Miss and Marshall, I see a lot of similarities, and it's become a pretty good rivalry. Even though sometimes a rivalry's got to be 2 teams that are really close to each other, there have been some great matchups matchups that I've been a part of in football, basketball, and baseball. And even the women's basketball team I know has had some great ones. So I just think there's a lot of similarities between Southern Miss and Marshall, and one is they always go find, those kids that maybe everybody else has overlooked a little bit, and those kids are the ones that turn out to be, like in our case, Brett Favre. Brett Favre was recruited by Pearl River Junior College, Delta State, and Southern Miss. Those were his three options, and he came to Southern Miss, and the rest is history. And there's a lot of stories like that at Southern Miss, and a lot of stories like that at Marshall. So I love to come up there and play, and I love it when they come here. So it'll be a lot of fun on Saturday.
John Cox is with us, longtime voice of the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. Okay, for Herd fans that haven't done the basketball trip in a while and haven't been to Hattiesburg since 2018, what's changed? What's stayed the same for Herd fans?
In Golden Eagle basketball, what's changed has been Jay Ladner. Jay Ladner has lived in and around Hattiesburg most of his life. He was a Southern Miss guy. He was a reserve guard on the NIT championship team that Southern Miss had back in 1987. He comes from a coaching background. His dad, Jay Larry Ladner, was a great high school basketball coach in and around the Hattiesburg area in South Mississippi. And Jay is smart enough to have adopted a lot of stuff that he kind of learned from his dad, a lot of stuff that he learned from M.K. Turk and assistant coach Robert McInnes when he played here at Southern Miss. And then he's gone on and, took Jones Junior College to the national championship round of the junior college championship. So, he's been successful. He knows the game, and he's kind of does it the old school way. And so I see a lot of that on this year's team. Great mixture of some young guys and older guys. And even though we got beat last night, had a tough game over at UAB on Thursday night, rather. Thursday night we played UAB and had a tough one there. I think there's a lot of excitement. The crowds have been unbelievable. We played Bowling Green early last week in the Sunbelt MAC Challenge, and there were 4,000 or 5,000 people there in Ricky Coliseum to watch those teams play. So Jay's just doing it the right way. No quick fixes. Do it the right way. Build it from the ground floor up with a few transfers here and there, and he's made it a lot of fun to be around Golden Eagle basketball.
I can imagine. Okay, so for tailgaters tomorrow, where should the Herd fans go? I know I hear it constantly. I wish Lethos was still around. Where's the go-to place for the food now? Where's everybody going?
Yeah, I don't know that I would be able to tell you one, but I tell you, it is a great atmosphere on our campus. And we've got an area now that's kind of located, kind of center of the campus and fairly adjacent to the football stadium, where they'll have a couple of bands playing there, and people are out there tailgating. And I usually get there early on a 6 o'clock game. I'm usually there about 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's unbelievable how many folks are already out there tailgating. And so I'm sure there's some already out there, or we're already out there on a Friday to get ready for a Saturday ball game. So it's been a great atmosphere, a lot of great places to eat. It just is a little bit of everything in Hattiesburg. If you like, New Orleans food, there's a lot of great places that have Cajun food and New Orleans style food. If you're a barbecue guy, a rib guy, there's a lot of places like that around. If you just want a good old big juicy burger or cheeseburger, there's a bunch of places like that. So you can't really go wrong. If you're a Herd fan in Hattiesburg and you go find a place to eat, you're not going to be disappointed, because it's a lot of great food and a lot of great places to get it in and around Hattiesburg.
My guest, the longtime voice of the Southern Miss Golden Eagles, John Cox. John, this is going to be fun tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I wish we had these two schools in the same division again. I know that's not possible, but it's good to have it back. It's good to have this football series back again, since it's been a long time.
Yeah, you're right. Marshall's one of those teams, and I don't know that I could pinpoint the exact reason, but I think our fans, as I was talking about maybe earlier, see a lot of similarities between Marshall and Southern Miss, and so maybe when the two aren't playing, maybe somewhere there those Marshall fans are kind of rooting for the Golden Eagles, and I think the Golden Eagle fans root for Marshall too. They think Marshall's a lot like us, just blue collar, hard working, nothing fancy. Just go out and play good, hard football on a Saturday afternoon. So I know I love coming up there. I love it whenever we play them. Steve Cotton is one of the guys I've looked up to and still look up to and reach out for advice sometimes. So just a lot of reasons to like Marshall, a lot of reasons to like Southern Miss, and it'll be a great Saturday afternoon, no question about that.
Well, we get you in basketball on December 21st, and that's your place. And I wish that was up here, but we'll get you back here. We'll get you back here sooner than later, hopefully.
Yeah, I grew up, I probably told you this, in Middletown, Ohio, where I spent some time going to watch games at Miami of Ohio and Dayton and places like that. And, they all at one time had the old gymnasiums, that, had bleachers in it and stuff like that, not a lot of fancy seats. And so, I've always liked going places like that. Now, obviously, Marshall's done a great job. I love playing up there. That's one of my favorite places because I like the crowd to be right on top of you, and they are that way at Marshall. So, I hope it works out as the Sun Belt Conference goes along here over the next few years, that we can get more matchups in every sport. And I'm particularly looking forward to finally getting to call a baseball game in the brand new baseball park there at Marshall. We've played at I don't know how many places over the years, Marshall in baseball. So I'm looking forward to the chance to play in the brand new baseball park there.
What's Mr. Cotton told you about it? And it's probably even better than what he said.
Well, he took me when we were up there, I guess it was last year, for basketball. Steve and I always, we've got a place we like to go eat breakfast and things like that. And, I said, you got to take me to the baseball park. And I don't even think, it was last year, I think was the first year. So maybe it wasn't quite finished, but we walked around it and, I could tell right away it had some great bones there. That's going to be a great place. And what'll be neat is finally the Marshall fans can be right there in Huntington and watch the Thundering Herd play. So I think they'll be surprised and amazed what the crowds will be like there on that for the ballpark there for baseball for Marshall. So I'm happy for them. That was well overdue and very much needed, and that's going to make them even tougher to beat now in the Sun Belt Conference.
I'm looking forward to it. We'll see you soon. Baseball it is then. We can't get you for basketball. We'll take you for baseball, though, because I know how it works at Southern Miss. It used to be the two top sports were baseball and off-season baseball, right? That used to how it used to be.
Well, our people love it. It's unbelievable. There's some talks in the works about adding to our stadium. It seats about just a little less than 6,000. Well, everything is sold out. We sell everything is basically a season ticket. We've got about 30 some spots out in the right field rows for people. A lot of those people have had those for 30, almost 40 years out there, and they do not give those away. So it is, I believe, one of the best atmospheres in all of college baseball, and that's had a lot of the reason for the success we've had in baseball. Brand new scoreboard, artificial surface, got those luxury suites, and a lot of talk about adding seats to it. So it's a lot of fun to be at Pete Taylor Park any day of the week. Doesn't have to be a Saturday or Sunday. Any day of the week, it's a great day to be at Pete Taylor Park.
John Cox with us. Good talking to you again, John. I hope we can do it again some more, and we're looking forward to getting you back up here. Baseball season should be fun, and I can't wait to have you in the ballpark. And hey, let's play ball. Let's get that going.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for asking me. I always enjoy being on with you. And again, I'm not saying this for any other reason than I mean it. As I love Huntington. It's one of my favorite places to go. I love the Thundering Herd fans. They're tough on you sometimes, but man, they appreciate when you do things well. So best of luck, except maybe this weekend to the Thundering Herd. But every other time, we wish you the best of luck and look forward to getting a chance to be up there again.
John, we won't be mad. We won't be too mad if Southern Miss wins tomorrow, but good luck, man.
Okay.
We root for you at everything else other than the time the Herd plays, but yes.
All right. I understand. We're looking forward to it.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate your time as always. That's John Cox, everyone. Quick time out. We come back. We'll get the text line going. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. This is The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
You've cut back on everything and you're still coming up short at the end of the month. Give your local State Farm agent a call for a free discount double check. They'll show you how something as simple as combining car and home policies can save you hundreds of dollars a year. Being there to help keep more of your money is why your local State Farm agent is here. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In Huntington, Jeff Smith, 304-781-1234. And in Wayne, Vicki Tabor, 304-272-5149.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Giovanni's Pizza. Fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Save big money on your next project with help from Menards. Update your home with Peyton Vinyl Plank Flooring. It's waterproof and durable, making it perfect for active families. It's available in 2 styles and features an attached pad for added comfort and easy installation. Trust Menards for all your flooring needs. And view the weekly flyer for all of our great deals happening this week on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free.
Endurance has paid hundreds of millions in claims. Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-281-1240. That's 800-281-1240. 800-281-1240.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Our text line this hour is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Welcome back to today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Busy night in high school football. Huntington High taking on Lindsley coming up tonight. 7:30 is going to be kicked. Listen to it right here or watch the video stream on our Facebook page. Also, Cabell Midland take it on Riverside, and it's going to be Spring Valley at St. Albans. Playoff action on Cat Sports 93.3 and 1340. Ashland will play host to Harrison County coming up tonight, and that is what's happening for high school sports across the tri-state. We've got a game tomorrow. Marshall in action, taking on Southern Miss. We're going to be live at Giovanni's to kick things off at 12 p.m., but we're going to kick things off right now with our kickoff. Marshall heads south to face a longtime rival, the Southern Miss Golden Eagles in Hattiesburg. This matchup brings 2 former Conference USA foes together for the first time since 2018 when Southern Miss edged out the Herd 26-24. Now, both teams meet as Sun Belt opponents, with Southern Miss holding an 8-6 advantage in the all-time series. Marshall comes into this game 5-3 overall and 3-1 in conference play, fresh off a 28-23 win over Louisiana Monroe. The Herd can become bowl eligible with a victory today. Southern Miss, meanwhile, is 1-7 on the season. But as Coach Charles Huff points out, this is a team whose talent goes deeper than their record.
Coach Stringer and his staff, you talk about the competitiveness in this league. When you watch the film, the records and the film don't match. Obviously, there's reasons. Obviously, there's missed opportunities. But when you look at the talent on their team in spots, they are an extremely talented football team. They play really hard on defense. They've got some guys with some really good athletic ability and power. I think their D-line is really disruptive. Their backers play downhill and physical. They got really good team speed. Their quarterback that they're playing right now does a really good job of creating with his feet. They've got some receivers who can run. So it's going to be a challenge.
Huff highlights the strengths of Southern Miss's defense, especially the way they swarm the ball with speed and aggression. It's a theme echoed by offensive lineman Logan Osborne, who sees this as one of Marshall's toughest defensive matchups of the season.
Their personnel and how they play is not a reflection of their record. I think they play extremely hard. I think they're really talented, really physical. They got great speed on the defensive side of the ball. The offensive coaches kind of told us like this is going to be one of the tougher defenses we're going to see in this league, just because they got so much talent and ability. So it's definitely going to be a challenge just from a physical perspective, and obviously we got to get the right hats on their hats.
Marshall's offense will need to bring their best effort to handle Southern Miss's physicality. Defensive end Mike Green notes that the Golden Eagles' disruptive line could challenge Marshall's O-line, but with Marshall's ground game ranked 15th nationally, the Herd's offensive line is primed to stand up to the pressure.
I think their quarterback, number 3, he stands out. I believe he might be a younger guy or a midway kind of guy. He's very mobile. He might be as mobile as Braylon. So we got to do a good job keeping him in the pocket, containing him, make sure that we don't let him get out the pocket as much. And they kind of use him as like a running quarterback / running back type of guy. So he probably has like running back numbers. So we just got to do a good job containing him. They got some good running backs. I know that they got a good defensive line also. Coach Huff touched points on that yesterday. So I think our offensive line been doing a good job, and they just continue to do what they've been doing. And I think that they're going to finish this season doing pretty well.
Marshall's defense is also keyed in on Southern Miss's dual-threat quarterback, Ethan Crawford. Crawford has brought versatility to their offense, creating scoring opportunities on the ground and through the air. Here's Coach Huff again on the challenges Crawford presents.
Yeah, I think their quarterback, Ethan Crawford, is doing a really good job. He can create with his legs. He can throw the ball. They've done different things. They had a quarterback that started earlier, and they've kind of made the transition to Crawford. As far as in the run game, he's a valuable piece to the run game. So now you got to add an extra set of eyes on him, which changes some of your fits, which changes who can be, in coverage and how they have to come out of coverage. And then again, they're doing a really good job of running the ball with play action, because again, when you have to be conscientious of the quarterback running, it opens up the throwing lanes. It magnifies it when you have a quarterback that can throw. Typically, you get some that are predominant runners and throw solid, but he's a good thrower as well as a good runner. So they've been able to kind of run the offense through him, which is kind of creating production for the other skill guys.
Defensive back J.J. Roberts adds that Crawford's style requires the Herd to stay alert on both his throws and scrambles.
I think they switched their quarterback recently. I think he's a really good player, really athletic. He's kind of like Brax in a way, runs the ball, good with his arm. I think that they have really good receivers and really good running backs. I think their whole team their whole offense, to be specific, looks really good. When you watch them on film, they don't look like they're 1-7, so it's kind of deceptive, but they definitely have a really good team.
Huff also emphasized Southern Miss's team speed and the impact of their aggressive defense. Here's Huff with more on what Marshall's offense can expect.
Yeah, I think they got really good team speed, especially on defense. They run to the ball. You can see them close some angles on some guys quickly, and that's the entire defense, not just one position. I think they're physical. They are a violent. They're bringing the party to you. And I'm not just talking about the ball carrier. They're physical on blockers. They're physical on route runners. It appears they have really good size. I haven't seen them in person, but it appears they have really good size. And then they've got some guys up front who are disruptive. And I think whenever you have a really good defense, you got to have some disruptive guys up front, because what that does is it breaks up your combos in the run game. You can't get comboed up to the backer. It breaks up your pass protection on who you want to help, who you can leave singled up. And then there's always the ability for one of those guys who are disruptive to knock a guy back, and then the run doesn't hit the way it's supposed to. So I think that's a combination of disruptive up front. They got really good team speed on defense, so they run to the ball. And then they're being physical.
Quarterback Braylon Braxton agrees, describing Southern Miss's defense as fast and physical. Here's Braxton.
Yeah, I would definitely say they're fast and physical. I feel like they have good athletes all around the field. Their D-line plays with a high motor, and they got some good players up there. We're going to have to show up and play our best ball, or we're definitely going to be in for a long game.
Southern Miss may be in a rebuilding phase under interim head coach Reed Stringer, but the herd isn't taking them lightly. A win today would not only make Marshall bowl eligible, but it would also continue their strong run in the Sun Belt Conference. Coming up next, I'll have the rest of the night in sports when we continue with The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year again, football season. Frank's has you covered from Marshall, WVU, the rest of college football to the NFL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-694-1010. That's 1-800-694-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-694-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the Tri-State. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Hey, it's Lex and Terry, K&B Pest Control, locally owned and operated in Huntington, West Virginia, serving the Tri-State.
Man, these guys are great. They do residential and commercial, indoor, outdoor, free estimates. These guys are the best, I'm telling you.
This is when the critters come out. High customer ratings, satisfaction guaranteed, large fleet, crew, meaning same-day appointments, and quick service.
All you got to do is pick up your phone and call Patrick, the owner. Okay, that's what you got to do. Or Becca. They're standing by to take care of you guys. It's K&B Pest Control. pestcontrol.com online and give them a call, man. They got a great Facebook page. Go ahead and like it. They got a phone number. We'll give you that. Why not? It's free. 304-523-4281.
Or go to kmbpestcontrol.com. They will tell you what everything looks like, what you're looking for, if you're getting a pest problem, and get on top of it. They're the best. Make sure you call Patrick once again, who is very passionate about his pest control, or Becca. K&B Pest Control. They'll kill for your business.
Trust the guys with over 40 years of experience at K&B Pest Control.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
My office has its ups and downs.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, one thing's for certain. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast, and you can invite your top choices to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, for any kind of office,
I'm really going places in my office.
My office has everything you could ever want.
count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
We're wrapping up today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Man, it's been an exhausting week, and we still got a lot to go. Football coming up tomorrow. We'll have the game for you starting at high noon on 93.7 The Dog. You want to hear basketball, just keep it locked to ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Since we got a split series here, Marshall football, 93.7 The Dog. Marshall basketball, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Text line we go. Texter says, Paul, I'm looking forward to being at the Herd basketball game this weekend and listening on the radio to the Herd football team beat Toledo and Southern Miss. Also, can't forget Marshall versus Old Dominion in Sun Belt Tournament on Sunday. Going to be a great weekend. Going to be a busy weekend, but yes, it's going to be a great weekend and a busy weekend for Thundering Herd Athletics. And of course, if Chris Grassi can continue on to win, there's still a possibility. Doesn't mean that Marshall won't host a championship game. West Virginia, if they lose. And I think this tournament's going to be a little bit different now because you can't pack it in on the Herd. You got to score to win. You can't draw your way to the championship game. You're going to have to win. So I think that's going to open things up a little bit more for the Thundering Herds. I hope to see a more, I don't want to say offensive showcase, but I think we're going to see some more goals scored. You got to score to win. So that's going to keep some things interesting with the Sun Belt Tournament. Let's see what this West Virginia team looks like when they start actually needing to score. And let's see what teams look like when they have to try to attack Marshall and see how Marshall counterattacks that. All right, busy weekend ahead, of course. And we get it all started tomorrow. Going to be at Giovanni's, and that's at 20th Street. We'll be on the air from 12 to 1:30. But here's the deal. If you're listening for basketball, still lock in at 12. You can just lock in right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. And if you want to just lock in on football, you can keep it on 93.7 The Dog. But, we're going to be at Giovanni's until 1:30. And then I'm going to see a lot of you, those of you that are sticking around or are stuck around, I'm going to be over at the Henderson Center. So I'll see some of you there. And then I'll be back on the radio afterwards. We'll do the post game. We'll talk mostly football. We'll recap basketball as well. So we got a very busy night tomorrow. Looking forward to it. I hope the company has stocked the fridge, energy drinks for everybody, right? Now that's what I'm going to need. I've been living off those this week. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to probably have to go over my energy drink budget just because we got so much and you got to stay ready. So I'm excited. I want to thank John Cox for checking in with us earlier. John's a great guy. Voice of the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. He's been doing it for 47 years. That's amazing to be at one school. He's sort of like Steve Cotton in that regard, just having the opportunity to be the guy at one school for so many years. And there are probably people who have grown up not knowing anybody other than John Cox as the voice of Southern Miss, so I appreciate him. Don't forget, we get high school football coming up tonight. The Huntington Highlanders in action. They're taking on Lindsley. We've got that game for you. 7:30 is going to be kick. Video stream available on our Facebook page. Radio broadcast right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So thanks for everyone checking in tonight. I'll be back with you on Saturday. I'll be back with you on Monday to start a brand new week. I'm looking forward to it. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Broadcasting from the Dave & Buster's studios. Eat, drink, play, and watch at Dave & Buster's in the Huntington Mall. ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. WRBC, W231BS Huntington.